Hello, assalamu alaikum everyone. Faria Khan here with Mohsen Live Stories, special stories for Mohsen. We are going to meet a bunch of wonderful, amazing Muslim authors, specifically female, to talk a little bit about their texts that they've introduced and why it's so important to have them. My name is Faria, and I am somebody who is close to Mohsen because they have a special place in my heart. I'm not just a person who really loves the organization and the work that they're doing, but I also have a child who I have the beautiful privilege of being his mother, who is special needs. And Mohsen organization has really just been a beautiful blessing in our life. And I'm excited to be here and talk to these authors today with you. Let's get started with our first author. Our first author is Ayan Adan from London. She's the author of Same and Different. And we're gonna just start with that. Ayan, assalamu alaikum.
Can you? Oh, hi, God, there I am.
Beautiful. I'm glad to see you. I wasn't able to see you before.
Oh, yes. How are you? Thank you so much for having me and everyone else. This is actually amazing.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be able to sit down and speak with you.
Yeah, likewise. So, yeah, as you said, my name is Ayan. I'm all the way from London, and I'm here to talk about my book, I guess. Yeah, and, the inspiration behind it. And as you like, I'm not sure how many of you guys are aware of how the book came about, or if you follow us on Instagram. But unfortunately our Instagram at the moment we can't access it. It's kind of blocked, so it's taking its time. But the passport has been changed.
Don't worry. Can you a summary of your book?
So this is the book, Same and Different. I'm not sure you can see it. So this book has been inspired by our son Abdurrahman. And he was born with a special syndrome, mega syndrome. Basically, we wasn't aware of the situation throughout my whole pregnancy. I wasn't aware of it, and this only came into light after when I had him. And with Naga syndrome, it's obviously children who are born with small jaws and a missing thumb on the right. And alhamdulillah, he's amazing. I mean, seriously, we are blessed to have him because we've learned so much having Abdurrahman. And to be honest, like I have other kids, and I never had any child with special needs or disability. So when he came along, he educated us so much in life. So the book initially was created only for him, because I've yet had to come across a book that basically represents children with tracheostomy or a feeding bag or a hearing aid. So as I said, like initially this was only for him. And as you know, when we created the book, and I spoke to a couple of professionals that were involved with Abdurrahman, they were like, you know what, you need to share this with the world. You need to share your book and educate other children and other parents. And yeah, it's been since then the journey has started really. So
wonderful. I'm so glad that you did that, and I'm so glad that you saw a need in the market, which there is, and you did that. Studies have shown that children from early childhood, when they're very young, that they start developing. They're born obviously without prejudices, but then at very, very early age, they start developing their ideas about others, right? Who they perceive as others. And I think the study that I read said from ages 3 to 5, that whatever they learn has a lasting impression in their life. So it's so important for us to write children's literature like this, that you've included this so that others can have an opportunity to see themselves in there, like children can see themselves in their literature and make and then also see others as beautiful, wonderful, capable human beings.
Yeah, I think the other thing that we've been doing since last year, obviously now with Corona and everything, we stopped doing it. We were also given the opportunity to take this book to primary schools, children aged from 3 to 5. And me and my daughter created this teddy. Unfortunately, I can't find the teddy today, but we created this teddy where we would take it to school, and that teddy has a tracheostomy, a feeding peg, and everything. And we let children kind of experiment with it. They were changing the trachea, and it was amazing because children learn through pictures, and children learn through getting involved, because and I realized, like, as soon as children knew what tracheostomy was, it was amazing, because I came across some of the parents and they were like, my daughter or my son came, we picked them up today and they were talking about something called a tracheostomy. And, I was just outside just showing the parents the book and what a tracheostomy is. So it's very important that we educate children from a young age to understand and to learn there are other people just like them, but just a little bit different. And especially within a Muslim community, a lot of things we like to hide it, and a lot of things we like to make it look like, it's like it's a shame. And just to be able to bring it out there, and it's, for me, like, it's been a good opportunity. And even my other children, they never knew this, so this has been
even I did before I had my son. I really love this doll that you're talking about. The fact that you're making it so tactile and like they can actually feel it, touch it, see it. And I think the concept is called mirror to identity. When children read literature and they can see themselves in the literature, then they are more susceptible to making deeper connections and understanding. So I love that you're doing this. And it's important because, even if you don't have this, like you're saying, my eldest was special needs. And so I had no idea either, and I did the learning, and I am a better person for it. And so anybody who doesn't have a special needs sibling or even is special needs themselves, it's just important just to have this better human experience together, right? Because we're all
definitely. I mean, seriously, I would definitely urge parents with special needs to go out there and educate themselves, their community, and it makes a better human being. Do you know what I mean? So seriously, for us, we've been blessed. And as I said, this was only just for Abdurrahman, a gift for him to us, because he really loves books, And now it's like he has the opportunity to see himself in a book, in a character, because I'm sure you realize with every children's book, every child is perfect, So with this one, it's like, oh, what's this and what's that? And it's actually quite amazing. And we hope to make more, inshallah. And and just to continue inspiring others.
I think what you're saying is really important, that children should be able to see themselves. And then the fact that it really helped your son, besides trying to, make Abdurrahman feel better, and then also to bring information out to others. Is there anything else you hope to accomplish with your text?
As in the long run, we really just, for us, for me personally, it's very important that Abdurrahman grows up in an environment where he learns to love himself before others, where he accepts himself. Acceptance is such a beautiful thing, and very especially with the society we live in right now, it's hard because we're normal, and yet we try to be like celebrities. We want to look perfect even though we aren't perfect. So I think what we're trying to achieve is to make children understand, the way Allah Azza created you, nothing's wrong with it. He created you in his best form. So learn to live with it, to love it, and to understand that people will look at you different, but at the same time, as long as you love yourself, I love you as your mom, and your dad and your siblings love you. You don't need somebody else's love. So I think that's what we're trying to achieve, not just with Abdurrahman, with all the other kids, to understand that we are all the same. That's why the title of this book is so important to us. We're all the same, yet we're different. You and I are different, and yet we're the same. So that's I think that's the message that we want to really make sure people reach, and
Okay, beautiful. And then would you let us know how and where we can purchase your book?
So at the moment, I'm still doing the website, but I'm sure it's available on Amazon. Also, you can just message me through our email in same and different once we have it back, or I would just I would share it with you, and then I can send it out to you. I can post it out to you, inshallah.
Beautiful. And then I think the team is including a slide where your book is in there. All the names of the books will be in there. And so everyone can check out all the authors that we have today, as well as other authors we'll be mentioning as honorable mention.
Great. That would be great.
It was so nice talking to you, Ayan.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Give a big fat kiss and hug to the little one, Abdurrahman.
Definitely will do. Thank you so much for having me.
Walaikum salam. All right, guys, that was so lovely to talk to Ayan. She was talking to us about her son who has a special need. We're going to talk to another author now. The next author that we're going to be welcoming is Manal Wazir from Toronto. She's the author of Resilient Rida and her cochlear implant, and we're going to talk to her about why she wrote this book. And as you can probably guess, it's about her daughter Rida. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. It was really beautiful to hear Ayan talk about her son and her book and inspiration, mashallah. So since we're here to talk about my book as well, It's Resilient Rida. I don't know if you can see it. Rida cochlear implant. Okay. Oh yeah, there you go. Resilient Rida and the cochlear implant. So the book is about actually a little boy who loves helping people, and his friend in Sri Lanka needs help to get because his brother has is hard of hearing, and they want to raise funds for a cochlear implant, which is pretty expensive.
Of course.
And so it's the story of how Rida learns about cochlear implants and how he like tries to raise funds for his friend, and the obstacles that he encounters during the process. And it also talks about the importance of making dua, and like the importance of using Allah's names in your dua, and also how in the end, when his friend gets the cochlear implant, like they switch it on and the whole process of it. Yeah, so that's just the gist of the story.
I love that not only is it about the cochlear implant, but it's also about just raising funds for the cochlear implant. So there's like a community work that is happening together. I love that you added in that other layer into this. Yeah.
And like the inspiration behind it was based out of a real life incident. So I was working as a speech language pathologist and an audiologist in a clinic in Sri Lanka, and I saw a lot of the difficulties that parents faced when it comes to like educating the communities, or even just getting funds and resources, access to resources.
Absolutely.
And
Wow.
there was this particular family with three kids who were all three were hard of hearing, and all three needed cochlear implants. And the first two were able to get cochlear implants, and after the parents had like make immense sacrifices, like selling things, and the third child, they had a lot of difficulty raising the funds, because a lot of people, especially our communities, were like, "Oh, how is it three children have the same problem? How come, like there was a lot of issues with people believing their story and that their son actually needed a cochlear implant." And that kind of inspired the story that we need more, like I answered, we need more awareness in the community, like more understanding. And I thought it was important that we create that sort of awareness through my book.
Absolutely. I think your book has a very important need, and it fills a very important need in our market. Absolutely. Would you talk to us a little bit more about what you hope to accomplish from this book, besides bringing more awareness around the topic?
Absolutely. So the other thing was, like I mentioned, like the most mainstream books and even Muslim books, they don't have like they don't represent or have like a story about a child with a disability where kids can see themselves in. So that's one aspect, but the other aspect is also like educating other kids who may not necessarily be impacted by disability, but just so that they are inspired and grow up to be individuals that advocate for children with disability, and being thinking about spaces and accessibility and giving access to children with disability. And it's important that we start at an early age where they develop that connection with other children, like, because if we don't really have the information, we are more likely to avoid or dismiss, or and
Great.
yeah, exactly. And just that, even just a little bit of information goes a long way, right? Like you sort of understand, and you're like, okay, I think I know what this is. I want to engage, I want to connect, I want to know more about this, and be friends and things like that. And not just like in sort of like, we don't only want our kids to grow up to be advocates in terms of like financial, but also in terms of like emotional, and giving our time and support, especially during this pandemic. A lot of parents like feel isolated as well, because like they don't have access to the resources that they previously had. So thinking about those things during this time, those are like the main things I want to accomplish with this book, and just inspire kids to you know uh, perform acts of kindness, that goes a long way.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And what you're talking about with the pandemic and losing access to services, I'm going through that right now with my son. So I absolutely do understand that. And it's very difficult, a journey that parents of special needs are on and special needs people are on. And so a lot of love and kindness and empathy from everyone will just go a long way to make the world a better place. So absolutely, I agree with you.
Even if it's just a phone call, like, how are you doing? Like, even if you can't like be in contact or something, like, even like, a video call or something that, just being there for somebody during this difficult time.
Yeah. And I think that the fact that you wrote about a cochlear implant, that specific topic, I haven't read very many, and my background is in teaching, and so I tried very hard to include diverse books inside my classroom, and I tried to include children things about disabilities and special needs children, but I have never seen one about a cochlear implant. So I'm glad that you've done that work, and especially with Muslim characters and with people of color. So I love that you did that. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, I just want to thank.
Oh, I'm sorry. Will you also let us know where we can purchase your book?
Oh, for sure. So just wanted to thank Mohsen for giving us this platform, for Ayan and Aya, and for you as well, like to share your stories. And it's important that we share and talk about these things in our communities. And so my book can be found on my website, www.manalwazir.com, and I'm having a special promotion where if you purchase my book within like this week until next Sunday, inshallah, all the proceeds will go to Mohsen, inshallah. So please.
Thank you so much. Jazakallah for that. Wow, that's so kind of you. So guys, make sure you're checking our book out, inshallah. We have the information for you. Just so nice talking to you, Manal. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much for the work that you've done and the work you're going to continue to do, inshallah. Wa alaikum assalam. All right, guys. That was Manal Wazir with her book about Rida and the cochlear implant. And now we are going to talk to our next author. I love this, that we're just getting to talk to author after author. This is like my favorite job to do. Right now, we're going to welcome Aya Sayed from Dallas, and she's the author of Sabila and Her Superheroes.
Sorry.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Alhamdulillah. I'm glad to be here talking to you guys.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Well,
out there.
We actually have your text at home because we had went to ISNA and your text was given inside the Muslim's bag. Did you know that?
Wonderful. Are you serious?
Yeah. It was given out to everybody.
Well, then that's awesome. That's good to know.
It was really nice to get it, and I thought that your book, the idea behind it, was really sweet and wonderful. My son, he doesn't speak yet. He's nonverbal, so we don't really know what his likes and dislikes are. So every year I make a big thing about his birthday, and I always have to think of my own ideas. And so the last birthday was that he was a superhero because he saved my life. He in many ways he has taught me so many things about myself, and so I really like the superhero concept of your book. Will you tell us a little bit about the inspiration and about your book in general?
Yes, not a problem. So my book is entitled Sabir and Her Superheroes. I'm sorry, this always gets.
No, I can see it.
Sabir and Her Superheroes, and it is about a little girl. Her name is Sabir, who is my daughter, and she has Down syndrome, and she's the main character of the book. And so every day she goes on a day out with her mom, her dad. If she has therapy, and she discovers every person in her life who's a community service worker has a superpower, whether it's her brothers who have the power of fun to, her therapist with the power of singing, to the teachers that have, the power to educate. And I give a huge shout out to the teachers out there because you guys are simply amazing when it comes to special education.
Really.
To us, it's not even a superhero power; it's a magical power.
Seriously, miracles happen, right?
Right, and at the end, the last day, she discovers her own superpowers, and it's the superpower of being herself, being not having to try to change who she is or pretend she's something else to be. Herself, so that's part of that. That's the book in general.
Yeah, unique in her own abilities.
Yes, unique in her own abilities, and that's something that lately, I can honestly say in the United States, it has been changing. I can't discuss like outside of the United States,
Yeah.
but I do know that when it comes to children with disabilities or adults with disabilities, it's like wanting to be hidden and wanting to uh, not wanting to be spoken about. So hopefully, this book and the other two books that we spoke about from Manad and Ayan, it encourages people to understand having a disability isn't the end of the world, nor is it something to be ashamed about or shunned in the community. No, it is your unique self, and embrace it, enjoy it, love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. I think it's a really important thing we need to instill in children at a young age. And
Yeah, inshallah.
that's inshallah. Will you talk to us a little bit about what you hope to accomplish besides the children? Have like your daughter, obviously, you wanted to do it for her so that she could have a child that she can see like herself. But also, what else do you hope to accomplish besides bringing awareness around Down syndrome?
Well, the one thing that I'm hoping to accomplish, and I spoke about it earlier, was that I really hope to accomplish that I have like at least one kid read it, whether they have a disability or not, to understand that they don't have to follow the crowd. And so that's the one thing. Even I don't even care if it's a kid. Adults can read my book too, and they can understand that you don't have to be something different in order to make a difference in this world. You can be yourself, and so that's the main goal that I'm trying to do with this book. And inshallah, also bring in the idea of inclusion. You know, Alhamdulillah, we have Muhsin, and Muhsin started the same, like 2 months, 3 months before or after, excuse me, my daughter was born. So it was awesome to like share it with you guys. And what's great is that Muhsin is bringing the whole idea of inclusion to our masajids, and so it kind of works with each other.
Can you believe prior to Mahsen that this was really just not happening? Like
Yeah.
nobody was really making an effort to do this. So many years, so many people.
Yeah, it's crazy, but alhamdulillah, it's working. So
It's beautifully working. Actually, it's been embraced so well.
yeah.
Um, I want you to just let us know a little bit more. Anything else you'd like to add, or will you let us know where we can purchase your book?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is part of a series. Just
Oh,
friendly reminder, this is the first book, and inshallah, within the next year, the second book of Sabil and her superheroes will be coming out.
awesome.
Inshallah, and it'll be actually about her brothers. And so we're going to take an adventure with that. And it's not just going to be family, we're going to have friends in there as well. So we'll have Sabine and her friends, whether it has to battle issues with autism or Williamson syndrome or, you know, anything else, including, with hearing aids and whatnot, because a lot of people don't understand that. And so we will be doing that. And you can purchase my book off of Amazon, Barnes and Noble. I know in international you can purchase it off of Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and Books a Million here, as well as the publisher's page of Page Publishing. That's the one thing, and also portions of my sales that I receive. I know it's not a lot because I'm going through a publisher, but alhamdulillah, portions of my sales do get donated. Alhamdulillah, my last portion that I donated was to the Texas Children's Hospital in Houston, Texas, where they have a research department for childhood leukemia. So alhamdulillah, we were able to do a donation there. And of course, with Muhsin and the Down Syndrome Guild of Dallas, they do receive donations as well. So it's not, for me, it's not about making a profit. Trust me on that. It's really not,
Yeah.
but it is about trying to spread awareness. And so you can purchase it there. And I just want to say that I am proud, and I apologize. I had where I got this information from, but I can't find it. I am proud that I, with Ayan and Manal, we are part of the 3.4% authors in the world that write books about disability, children's books. So
We're proud of you.
kudos for us
Absolutely.
for being a small group.
Absolutely. Mashallah. You guys are doing an important, definite job. And like you said, there is a shift happening in literature around including diverse characters. But you guys are doing the important legwork of actually adding to it and making sure that this is out there for other children and making better human beings and lives of others. Really, you're enriching other people's lives through your work. And what better way to do it than through knowledge, because it's such a beautiful Islamic legacy also in the prophetic work. So
Yes, alhamdulillah,
yeah,
alhamdulillah. And I know all of our books. The great thing about them is that though we are Muslim authors, and though, for instance, in my book, Sabia's mom wears a hijab, in the book, it isn't geared just to Muslims. It is geared to everyone. And so not only are we trying to, bring it up in the Muslim community, but we're also trying to bring it up worldwide. And so that's the great thing right there.
so absolutely. So not only are we building empathy, we're raising disability awareness, we're increasing inclusion, but also we're just also speaking to against Islamophobia, right? Just
Correct.
people being seen as others and seen as different, and just showing the humanness between us.
Yeah, correct. That's exactly it.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so glad to have had this opportunity to talk to you. Thank you so much for spending your time with us.
Thank you so very much, Jazakallah khair, you and to Mohsen for allowing us to speak about our book.
Absolutely. I'm thankful to Mohsen for allowing me. Yeah, yes, thank you so much. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum. All right, guys, we are at the end of our live now, but I do want to give some honorable mentions of other authors. We did find other Muslim authors that are including texts with special needs and diverse characters, and so I wanted to read them. So please excuse me while I just read them off of this paper so I look down. But I just wanted to name these and make sure I have them. They will be available for you to see also. I think they're putting up a slide. Are we putting up a slide right now? They are. So, 1 second. So you can see the slide. I'm hoping that you guys will be able to see that slide, and I'm just going to read them out loud now. So, Hind's Hands, Ramadan Around the World, Allah Made Us All Different, Be Yourself, King for a Day, My Friend Sohana, Emmanuel for Marco, I'm Different, I'm Special, A Bedtime Prayer for Peace. Oh my God, that one sounds amazing. I'm gonna look into that one, inshallah, too. But I'm really just I just really want to take the time to just thank everyone for joining us and spending your time and afternoon, precious Sunday afternoon with us. I hope that you will check out some of these authors, their texts, support them, and their important work, along with just doing the important work of helping your children, whether they are special needs or not, whether you are Muslim or not, being kind to one another, being appreciating one another's differences, not being colorblind to it, not being blind to it, but being able to see that, oh, this is a person that looks different than me, has different abilities than me, but we are all special in our own rights, and we all have different things that we have, like Aya said, like superpowers. And so I hope that we can just increase in awareness around each other, especially with the pandemic and everything that's going on. I keep telling everyone there's like a collective trauma that the world is going through, and for a person that goes through trauma, they need love and support. And so the only other world that I'm trying to be a part of after this, when things go back, hopefully in a better way, is a world where there's inclusion and there's support for one another and empathy and just light. So Jazakallah for joining us and spending the afternoon with us. My name is Faria, and until next time, assalamu alaikum.